Texas Rangers. Jack Leiter going for the Texas Rangers, and the debut of Chris Bassett. The brilliant Michael Sullivan. What say you? From I understand you may or may not be a Chris Bassett fan.
No, I am a Chris Bassett fan, and I think that I expect to see better results from Chris Bassett tonight than we saw from Shane Baz yesterday. Because I think Bassett being a veteran, having pitched in big games, not having just signed, a massive contract, that I think he probably won't be as hyped up as Shane Baz was for his start yesterday, which was understandable. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Chris Bassett does tonight. Jack Leiter, Jack Leiter's had one good major league season. That was last year. Quite frankly, he wasn't that much of a different pitcher than Bassett was last year. His ERA was like 3.8, 3.89 or something. And his whip was like 1.3. So, it was a nice year for him because he's a younger pitcher. But, interestingly, I don't think the Orioles faced him at all last year. As a matter of fact, I think only two Orioles in tonight's lineup have ever faced Leiter, and those two are
Dylan Beavers.
Ward.
I was just joking. Okay, yeah.
Ward and Blaze Alexander. Each of them have 3 at-bats against Leiter, and each of them has one hit, and each of their hits is a home run.
It's a home run.
So
now
we know why they're in the lineup.
Right. I just figured it was in the minor leagues type of thing. So that's why I said Beavers.
They may be in the minors.
Jack Leiter. Yeah. Well, interesting about Jack Leiter. Okay. Top prospect coming through the minor leagues. We know his father was one heck of a pitcher, Mark Leiter, for the Florida Marlins and some other teams. And again, I don't think they were the Miami Marlins at that time. Jack Leiter plus fastball can get it up there 97, 98. And again, I think, okay, now I'm going to have to check some stats here, but I think Mark Leiter was he like the first overall pick?
Jack Leiter, who we're facing tonight? Is that who we're talking about? Where'd you go?
Am I back?
Yeah, you're back. I see you. Jack Leiter.
Okay, sorry about that.
That's all right. Jack Leiter was, in fact, a first-round pick. I don't know whether he was the first overall pick, but I'm going to find out right now, just for the heck of it, since we're talking about it. Jack Leiter, first round, second pick of the first round of the 2021 Major League Baseball draft. So definitely a high pick. Last year was his first meaningful time in the major leagues. 29 starts, pitched well. Was 10-10. And so, he's a decent pitcher. And Chris Bassett, we know, is a solid vet. So it'll be interesting to see how they face off tonight. And I don't know about you, but I'm kind of pleased about the Orioles 2-1 start. I think that's they had a series, won the series. I don't know what more you can ask for as you start the season. I'm sure some people are like, well, they're the Twins. They should have won all 3, but. Joe, you seem to be fading in and out on me there.
I hope that I'm okay now. I think okay. So, Yep, I think all systems are back up and running here. Sorry about that. No, what happened is that in looking for that Jack Leiter stat, which when he was drafted, which I should have just let you do. I'm
I
knocking stuff around here.
I can read without
So
glasses, man. Yeah, let me do it.
yeah, right. Yeah, no, that's I can barely see the screen or the camera without glasses. So Chris Bassett, here we go, 37 years old, right? Young guy as far as we're concerned. But what are you looking for out of Bassett? I mean, what do you expect? I guess he's fallen to be the number 4 starter. I thought he was slated to be a number 3 guy, but Shane Boz uh, went on Sunday. So
I mean, I think what the Orioles would be expecting from him or hoping for from him is going to be, 5 or 6 solid innings and keep him in the game, right? So, 5 or 6 solid innings, give up 3 runs or less, quality start. I think that's what they would hope for. And if you get more than that, you're going to be thrilled. Um, because if they don't get more than that, then we get into the bullpen, Joe. And the bullpen had its ups and downs in its first 3 games. And I don't know that we have a definitive 7, 8, definitive 7, 8, 9 guys. So it's I mean 9, yes, but and 8 is
7, 8
supposed to
guys. Yeah.
I mean 8 is supposed to be Tyler Wells, but he's given up runs in both of his appearances and didn't really look anything like himself yesterday, walking guys, which he usually does not do. And
Yeah. No, he doesn't. I
and so he,
think he's not a setup guy. He's a starter or he's a long guy. And I had mentioned in an earlier episode, I don't know if it was with you or Matt, that, because of Kittredge injury, that he was going to be moved back to more of a setup role. And,
yeah.
again, I just don't think it's for him. Yeah, he pitched poorly in both of his outings. Yes, he's not known to walk a lot of guys. And I could tell you when he came out of the game yesterday, he was certainly a little upset. I could tell you
Well,
that.
he pitched great in relief in spring training. The difference with that, of course, is when you're going to pitch in spring training. They tell you you're going to pitch 2 days from now, and you do your throwing, and you're allowed to get prepared almost in the same way that you would get prepared if you were a starter, right? Because they got a schedule, and they're going to tell you when you're going to pitch. Whereas, during the regular season, it's like, hey, phone call, Tyler, get up. um, you
Right.
know, get up in the bullpen, and that's certainly a different thing for him. Although he has had a stretch or two in the major leagues where he pitched out of the bullpen and did very well. So I'll remain optimistic. He's got good stuff. I think I saw that Kittredge might be uh, getting close to doing a rehab stint, and Aiken the same for him. So I think getting Kittredge and Aiken back, I think Kittredge definitely, if he's back, is going to move into that, eighth inning slot, and then you'll have a little more flexibility with what you do with Wells.
Well, again, see, and that is with all bullpens. Okay, everyone has a role. Okay, and Helsley, closer role, etc. And yeah, I just think that once Kittredge is, again, probably I would assume, and I think you'll agree, your 8th inning guy.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you can move Tyler Wells to either be, your long guy or your middle relief guy. With Keegan Aiken, I think he has an abductor issue. I think there is a timetable. I think he should be back once his stint is over. Jackson Holiday, there you go. Okay, I'm gonna put my glasses on. Michael, how's Jackson doing? Is he? I know that he played Friday, I believe. did not play Saturday and then did play yesterday.
He did play
Am I
yesterday.
tracking?
I didn't see what he did. But
Okay.
he's not off to a hot start. I do know that. And
All right.
you know, I he didn't have a spring training. So
No,
I
it's what
don't
he's in now.
that he's in spring training now. So, you know, I believe that his rehab stint is gonna is gonna last at least. I don't know what the maximum it can last, but I mean, I would think it's going to be 10 days or 2 weeks because he needs those at bats. You know, in spring training, you'd like the guy to get 30 or 40 at bats, and so he'll need to be there for a week, 10 days to get anywhere close to that. And then you have to wonder, well, if he's there for a week or 10 days and he's not hitting a lick, are they gonna call him up, particularly if they're getting production out of Blaze and Jeremiah, which so far they have been. So I think that remains up in the air. Um, so we'll see about him. But the bullpen guys, they'll be back in relatively short order, and then we'll be talking about who are they gonna who are they gonna send down, who are they gonna move. And those will be some interesting questions to answer when they're forced to answer them. And we'll see. I mean, the lineups have been pretty consistent. Not a lot of. We're not seeing like a whole bunch of changes from day to day. That may change during the season as it progresses, and we'll see what Craig Albernaz does as compared to Brendan Hyde. And Hyde, I can tell you, I think like a lot of fans, his lineup juggling drove me nuts. Nobody batting in the same spot. Uh,
Oh
uh,
no, he definitely liked to jumble that lineup.
yeah, I
He
mean, he
loved
was
doing that.
jumping.
Speaking
Yeah.
of lineup tonight, here we go. For the Texas Rangers, Brandon Nimmo in right field going to lead off. Wyatt Langford, number 2 hole in left field. Corey Seager at shortstop, batting third. Jake Berger at first base. Jock Peterson back. I don't know if he's got the cool necklace tonight as designated hitter. Second baseman is Josh Smith. Josh Young back this season, and as you know, came up, did real well, was sent back to the minor leagues for a bit last season. He'll be at third base, batting seventh. Evan Carter in center field. Kyle Higashioka will be doing the catching tonight for the Orioles. Taylor Ward again in left field, as you said, pretty pretty consistent lineup. But I think he's playing. He's doing his best to get everybody some at bats. Gunnar Henderson, shortstop, batting second. Pete Alonso at first base, batting third. Number 4 hole is going to be Adley Rutschman. He is catching. Tyler O'Neill staying in that lineup, staying hot, designated hitter, batting fifth. Dylan Beavers, center, in right field, batting sixth. Kobe Mayo off to a good start, especially defensively,
Yep.
batting seventh. Colton Cowser in center field, and new Oriole, Blaze Alexander, big hit on opening day. You were there, Michael.
Yep.
Will be batting ninth. So, again, yeah, I mean, I got to tell you, you were right, Michael. You really don't know what lineup you're going to get from 1 minute to the next with Brandon Hyde.
Right.
But fortunately, yeah, I kind of like the lineup being a little more stable, quite frankly.
I do too. I mean, and obviously, I think it's going to change when Jackson Holiday comes back, and maybe it. Well, I don't even want to talk about Westberg because God knows whether he's even coming back. I think what Orioles fans would like to see, just to make them feel a little bit better, is that they'd like to see Ward and Henderson get some hits. Because they're 2 for 23. And that's got everybody a little bit nervous. So it'll be interesting. I think people just like to see them get off the schneid and contribute offensively sooner rather than later. So it'll be interesting to see whether those guys get going even just a little bit, because obviously they're key to getting production out of the top of the lineup. And yesterday they got production from down the lineup, and there's nothing wrong with that either. So, but yeah, like you said, Mayo's had a couple hits. He's been playing well defensively, which is not something we thought we'd see, but he's been better than good defensively, right? I wouldn't call him exceptional, but he's been very good.
We have a celebrity, and I mean this. He probably doesn't think I know who he is, but we do. We got a question from a viewer. Uh Pig Town Sports. Okay. And you know Pig Town Sports, because
I
I
do,
do.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So let me see here. Okay, who homers first between Alonso, Mayo, Cowser, and Ward? Pigtown Sports, we love you. We saw, I think he had Ben McDonald on. Do me a favor, drop us an email, joe@joerossano.com. Let us know how you got Ben McDonald. I tried to get some guys on. I think they all laughed. But Michael, who homers first? Again, Alonso, Mayo, Cowser, or Ward.
I'm going to say Alonso, just because he's already hitting a little bit. And among the other three, I mean, Mayo's got a couple hits. Cowser and Ward have done essentially nothing so far. So Alonso would be my very conservative and easy pick. I would say, that he's the one most likely.
I'm going with Colton Cowser. Why? Because Colton Cowser can hit the fastball. And Jack Leiter likes to throw the fastball. So, Pigtown Sports, we appreciate your question. Joe Rosano equals Colton Cowser. The brilliant Michael Sullivan equals Pete Alonso. There's a surprise. There is a surprise. So, who's your player of the game tonight, Michael? Who wins tonight's game, etc.?
Well,
come on, we can argue about this one tomorrow.
Well, even though Leiter pitched well last year, I see this going one of two ways for the Orioles. Like, they're going to do miserably offensively because nobody has seen Jack Leiter. Like, it's going to be the first time everybody's seeing him except for Ward and Alexander. Or it could just be a great offensive game because it's not some veteran out there who's going to use not only his stuff but his wiles to shut down the younger bats. So I'm leaning towards they're going to get the best of Leiter tonight, and I am going to say that good night for Beavers.
Good Beavers, huh?
Yeah.
Good night for. I say Colton goes deep.
Well,
again,
at least you're consistent.
You know what we're getting back to here, don't you?
What's that?
Colton has a pretty wife. Means he's got confidence.
All right.
Pigtown Sports, where you at? You know I'm right about that one. So, yeah. So at the end of the day, yeah, I think Colton Cowser gets a fastball, and I think he runs into one.
That'd be great.
Now, let me ask you this. You're at the stadium for opening day, okay?
Yeah.
Pete Alonso, tips his helmet to the crowd before his first at bat. Now, I got to tell you, that's a new one on me. Okay, I mean, I can understand when he goes back to New York and the fans cheer and he tips his hat, saying thank you, but not a hey man, I'm glad to be here. I mean, again, I'm not saying I'm not glad he did it, but was it weird? Did you think it was?
I didn't think it was weird because, Joe, you'd have to be there. The crowd was exceptionally pumped up to have him come up to the plate. I mean, you know, Joe, the Orioles haven't signed a player anywhere near his magnitude since what? Miguel Tejada?
I was going to say Albert Bell. Yeah, but you're right. Miguel Tejada.
Right,
Nope, we
Tejada.
agree.
So, you know, they haven't signed anybody who, you know, who has come to the team with, you know, all-star credentials, you know, legitimate production, you know, for years and years and years and years. And so, and, you know, remember, Tejada came from Oakland, and this is a guy playing in New York who chose to come to Baltimore. And he's done a lot to ingratiate himself to fans already. And I think that was reflected in the way the fans greeted him. And so I understood him, you know, giving a little, you know, doff of the cap to the crowd before he went up for his first at bat. So it certainly didn't bother me. I guess I'd agree that it was unusual to do it before you did
It was
anything.
unusual,
Yeah, it was unusual
right?
to do it. Yeah, before you've done a thing. But hey, look, the Orioles
And
are
then you
kind of making
strike out.
the Orioles are kind of making a habit of, you know, doing things before anybody's done anything. Like, hey, Shane Boz, here's a 5-year contract.
Oh God, yeah.
Before his first pitch. And I mean, I
Yes.
think it was a logical move, as has been
Yeah,
written
I
and
like it.
said. Yeah, as has been written and said by a lot of people. Essentially, it's really just 2 additional years because he was under team control for 3 more years. And now you've essentially added 2 more to that. Yes.
Yeah.
And you got salary certainty, right? Because those 3 years would have been arbitration years conceivably, and salaries could be, who knows what they might have been. And if he does well in those 3 years, getting him for whatever it is, 13 point something million dollars a year by year 4 could seem like a bargain. You know, remember
Oh yeah.
they're paying Chris Bassett what, 18 this year?
18 million.
So, but yeah, you know, there's the Orioles doing things when they did the same thing with Basayo, really, right? You know, we signed somebody before he's, you know, proven that he can do anything. I'm glad. I'm thrilled to see the Orioles behaving like so many other franchises and locking up young guys and getting salary certainty. And, you know, it comes with risks, but hopefully it'll come with rewards as well.
I mean, you know, I certainly hope so. I mean, again, uh, I just what I want is this, okay? You know, I want a bulldog front of the rotation guy, okay, at the deadline. There you go. You heard it here. Like I said, we got the stats here, 11 and 9, 3.96, 170 innings pitched. And you know, we certainly like that. That's for sure.
I'm going to say it
So
now. I'm going to
again,
say it now. I don't think we're going to get a Bulldog front of the line starter at the trade deadline. Could be
not
wrong.
from Mountcastle.
I, get a bucket of balls from Mountcastle. Game used balls at that. You know, unless Rogers or Bradish gets hurt or falters, I don't see them making a trade for another top of the rotation guy because if that is if, and it's a big if Rogers and Bradish perform the way you expect them to perform, they are going to be as good as any 2 starters at the top of a rotation in the American League. If they perform the way you expect them to perform. So would it be nice if they go get somebody? Yeah. Do I see them doing it? No, but you know, we've been wrong about stuff already. So
Who's we?
you know, the royal we. That includes you, Joe.
No, hey, so let me ask you this. You know, here we go. Grayson Rodriguez injured. Goodness. Yeah, and you know what? I mean, I think you were right, Michael. I think the Orioles knew something that your pal Joe Rosano, for once in his life, didn't. Okay, and I think that I'm I think that I don't know if he ever pitches again. I really, really don't.
I expect he'll pitch, but as we talked about a lot in the preseason, I gave you a lot of crap about it, but I think he'll pitch this year, but I don't think he's going to be impactful this year. And it doesn't mean he won't
Right.
be impactful in the years that follow, but uh, it's not started well for him
Right.
with the Angels. And then, Cade Stroud, of course, I know your other favorite pitcher, didn't make the Diamondbacks.
He didn't make the team.
He didn't make the team.
Goodness, if I'm him, I'm upset because he would have certainly made the team here.
Probably.
Certainly would have made the team here.
Yeah. Heck, we got a guy.
So,
We got a guy in the team who's only pitched we got a guy in the bullpen who's only pitched like 28 games in the minor leagues. I think Nunez.
yeah.
And of course, he
could flat out throw.
He looked great.
Yes.
And he's never pitched an inning above Double-A. So bullpens are just wonky. You don't know what kind of performance you're going to get from guys from year to year. With the exception of sort of top end closers, I can tell you I was thrilled to see Hesley throwing over 100 miles an hour.
Too. Devastating. You saw it. You were there. Yeah. Devastating splitter to end the game against Trevor Larnach. I mean, to see him over triple digits. Hey, I didn't hate that signing, actually, Helsley.
Yeah.
I really didn't.
Well, if he throws like that, that's going to be a big thing at the end of the game. And then I think it was yesterday he challenged a ball strike call in the 9th inning and got it right. And he changed what I think.
And he got the other team's manager tossed.
He got him tossed, which was the first in Major League, the first time this season that somebody got ejected because of an ABS call. And I think challenging that call changed it from what would have been a 3-1 count to a 2-2 count. And he went on to get the guy out. So smart call. And Basayo made some good calls on ABS yesterday too. So I like it.
So do I. So coming up, first pitch, Bassett, Texas Rangers.
Yeah.
Jack. Yeah, I mean, again, I was a Mark Leiter fan. Jack Leiter for the Texas Rangers, Chris Bassett for the Orioles, and we'll be back for post game. I'll be back with Matt Faulkner, and for Matt Faulkner for Michael Sullivan. So, Michael, what's the final score tonight?
Oh, it's useless to try to predict a baseball final score. That's just like wishing. That's all that is.
Okay.
I'm going to say, I'm going to wish that the score is 6-3. That's what I wish.
6-3 Orioles?
O's.
Orioles win 6-3. I say that Bassett pitches 5 innings. I think the Orioles win 3-2.
All right. Pitcher's duel.
Player of the game, Colton Cowser. Who's yours, Alonzo?
Dylan Beavers. Just for
Dylan Beavers. That's right. Dylan Beavers. Yeah. Colton Cowser for me. Want to say thank you to Pigtown Sports. You know they I've seen them. I love them. We love Pigtown Sports here. So once again, for Matt Faulkner, Michael Sullivan, I am Joe Rosano. Enjoy the game. We'll see you post game. Don't forget to adopt a pet. See you next time.
Catch you guys tonight. Go O's.
Go O's.